Alternative investing. Just keep everyone here a little bit of insight also on the
Okay.
other
Yes, all right.
alternative in investing.
So what else I've been doing, because of the mortgage notes have been so good to me, and I feel very blessed actually, because it has changed my life. I've been able to do other things. I've been in the entertainment industry behind the scenes of like 15 years. So I put all the teams together and have an amazing partner out in California that we do film production. We produce feature films, and I'm also now producing TV shows, made for TV shows. That also uses private capital. So obviously when you hear let's invest in movies, you think what? Danger, right? You think, oh, this is not secure at all, correct?
Yeah. Not as secure.
Well, not secure at all, right? That's what you think. Yeah, most people are going to lose their money, and that's true. But remember, at the beginning of the talk, I said the most important to me in my life is security and investment. So how do I make feature films a secure business model? Well, like I said earlier, traditionally, when you want to make a movie, an independent film, you get a great story, a great director, and then what? You raise money for it, right? So let's say, okay, I need $1 million to make this movie. I get my friends and family and some investors, some freaking risky investors. And I offer them 40% return on my money.
No personal guarantees.
Yeah, there is no guarantees, right? So, but I get the money, right? I just graduated NYU. I'm the next Spike Lee, right? I'm the next Spike Lee. You have to believe I'm going to make a killing on this movie. So you gave me $1 million. Now, hopefully I finished the product. I finished the film. Now what do? I try to sell it. First I try to send it to festivals that are recognizable, and then hopefully I try to sell it. That's traditional way of independent filmmaking, and that's the way you most likely 90% of the time will lose your money. The way we do in our independent films is that we don't do that. We get a great product, a great director, same story, up to the point where we have already our distribution arm, our end buyers in place. Based on that, if you have a great story and you're the next Spike Lee, it still doesn't matter to me. My end buyers have to agree that they're going to buy it at a certain price point. So for example, if your movie budget is $1 million and my end buyers say, Ricky, I think this is really a hit. I think I've seen your work. I've seen how you finish your product. I would pay $2 million for the rights to distribute this film. If I get that okay, then now I can say, here's my money, here's my investor money, let's finish this project. Because I already have a security on investment. I already have, plus a very high return. So that's the way we do it.
So 2 questions. Who's this end buyer, and how do they underwrite that potential deal besides your past work?
But yeah, it's not real estate, right? So this is talent based. For me, when I accept a script or a story, I have a certain talent to understand what's a good story, right? And I know their catalogs. Some guys only distribute horror, some guys only distribute action, some dramas, and so on. There's not just one guy. There's different companies that already we have established relationships with. So based on that, I go, okay, I have this horror flick, for example, Severed Road, which is coming out this Halloween. Please buy it and watch it and enjoy it. Severed Road is coming out this Halloween. The distribution is so happy they already ordered, they want part 2 and part 3. So that's gonna be a franchise, much like Saw. You're gonna know Severed Road. But if I had brought Severed Road to the guy and says, you know what, I don't think this is a money maker, I'm not gonna buy it, then obviously the road ends there. Nothing was risked. You understand? But we don't just put our chips in one guy, we put our chips in a few guys. So to establish a baseline profit point margin, right? So that's why I'm able to offer 20% preferred return, 40% preferred return, and 20% royalties. I'm able to offer that on these films. Now that crushes the market returns. Right now it crushes mortgage notes, and it crushes all real estate at this moment. But I say, hey, that doesn't mean, hey, just give me $1 million. That's not how it works. whatever number you're going to be comfortable with, and whatever. Some films need a minimum of 50,000. Some films need a minimum of 20,000. But you can do the whole thing, obviously. I just say, just like I do with mortgage note, buy one. See how it works. Buy one note. Process that note and see how that works for you. You may love it or hate the business, but you will make money, but you may not like it. But put some money in a movie. See how that works. My goal in life is to show you that how to make money, how to be profitable, because that makes me profitable. And like I tell other people, I don't make a phone call and say it's Ricky from Merrill Lynch. It's Ricky from Ricky. So my name is gold. So I never lost anybody money. So I have that 8-year track record. So that's why I'm capable of telling you guys this about films. I will give you 20% preferred. The contracts are as follows. Depending on the project, you get either 20% on your money, meaning 100,000 will get you 120 back. All contracts are 24 months or less. Most of the time you get in and out of a deal on a movie in 12 months. The beauty behind it is that you're gonna have equity, royalty attachment, 20% throughout the life of the film. So now your return is not just 20, it's not just 40, it's a lot more. 80, I mean, I have the formulas that whoever's interested can get it. Right now, I'm finishing up the funding for Wishman, which is, I think we all feel very strong. You ever guys heard of Make-A-Wish Foundation? Mm-hmm. Wishman film is based on the life of the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I start shooting at the end of this month in Arizona. I'm finishing up the funding for that. The budget is 1.5 million.
Ricky, I have
yes.
a question on that. So
yeah.
The budget is 1.5 million. You're obviously going to shop around with your distributors already, and these distributors, are they like Amazon, Netflix?
Oh no, okay. I'll give you an example. Let's say one of them is Blue Fox. I don't deal with Amazon and Netflix. I let the distributor deal with Amazon and Netflix. It's his job, because remember, if they gave me $3 million, it's their job to recoup their investment. Right. Plus, they're also in the business of making money.
So they're offering you that money first before you're making the movie, or before?
Yes. I'm establishing that before the movie's made, in a letter of intents.
Right, but again, to piggyback off her question, my earlier question, who is the end buyer?
Okay, yeah. All our distributors have this for minimal. At least limited theatrical release nationwide. Once that theatrical release is finished, then it goes to the video on demand channels, which is Hulu, Netflix, video on demand, iTunes, whatever, and so on. Okay. So you're gonna
my underwriting process.
That's where it's gonna go. Yes, yeah. That's where it's gonna go. It's not gonna get shelved in any way, shape, or form, or else we wouldn't be a business. We started last year with doing 3 films, and now we're slated to do 7. We're finishing up Severed Road. We're finishing up Big Legend, which I think I sent you the article on that. We're gonna start shooting Wishman, which we're very excited about. It should be a award-winning film based on the subject matter. If anybody wants to get the packet of that film, you're welcome to get it. We have amazing actors attached to it. Then right after that, we have a comedy film, and we have an action thriller here that's gonna be shot in New York and in Colombia. Maria Canje is based on the organ trafficking trade. So these are all real films. They're not your student films. So these are by Class A guys. And I'm fortunate because again, our secret sauce is to have the best crew available to give you the Look, I took my films. I have a friend in William Morris Endeavor. That's the largest agency in the country, in the world. I showed him a couple of our projects and say, hey, check this out. He checked it out. He goes, oh, Ricky, this is good. How much was this? $5-10 million? I'm like, no. The film I showed him only cost me $500,000. So see, that's the quality that we're producing at such a low price point, that even the top industry professional in the world believes it's a $5 million budget film. So once we left that meeting in Los Angeles, I knew I had something. And I'm gonna continue to do that because it's also a personal passion. It's a passion of mine. I acted many moons ago. I was an actor, I was a director, I owned my own management company. I was a partner in a management company. I was an intern as an agent. all this, and then I got into the note business, and that took off. So I mean, I took a lot of lumps along the way. It's not like, and I definitely was not born rich. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of what I'm putting together in my life. So, and when people say, oh, you do so many different things, I go, one thing I say is you're limiting me to your limitations. Just because you're limited and you need to focus on one thing to achieve something, it doesn't mean other people are like that. I've been very fortunate. What's important for me to be able to achieve many different things is to have amazing strategic partnerships. I don't do all of this by myself. All my partners are top A guys and crews. So like I know that, hey, I have this film, it's taken care of. I have this mortgage note portfolio, it's dealt with, and so on and so on. And then I think that's the way to go. Like I've been on my own since I was 17 years old. So, and that was the best thing that happened to me. My mom kicked me out. So I had to figure out how to do things, how to make money. I thank her every day. I love my mom. I'm a mama's boy. Yeah, I still get cuddles and everything. So, yeah. So, there's things that happen in life that make you realize certain things and certain potentials that you may have. For many years, people, you don't realize you have certain potentials, but if you start to believe in yourself until you do things, until you're willing to fail, you can go ahead and achieve many wonderful things. Like the old saying says, is like you're not afraid of, you're afraid of how amazing you really are, and I believe that 100%. Because I live it. I live my life. Now that we go back to the goals, I don't have yearly goals. I have weekly goals. And then my year goal is to just crush it. That's how I look at it, right? I just want to crush it. But every week I have my whole big whiteboard and I write everything I have to do for the week. And that's the only way I can make sense of my life. One step at a time.
Wow.
God damn it. Why you gotta be talking?
Every time that I hear your story, every time that I hear your story, it's always amazing. I learn something new every day from you.
Oh,
yeah. So guys, for the rest of you, is there any other questions that you have or anything that you're curious to know more?
I heard you mention oil.
Yes.
Earlier. Did you talk about that while I was gone? And if not,
no, I didn't talk about it. Yeah, but that's another investment avenue that we've done. Actually, she knows my partner in that field very well, which is Anton. He's been doing oil for many years. He's the one that got me involved. And again, it's very lucrative. When you talk about cash flow, that's kind of one of the kings of cash flow. Because you're doing oil and gas wells. You're not putting money into, yes, the wells. You're actually buying ownership into the wells. You're not putting money into a fund or anything like that. So whether you buy 5% of a well, you're 5%, 100% owner. Yeah, which is amazing. Also, another thing that's ideal in that field is that you could go to be on the market and put money into oil, and if the prices of oil and gas. But with us, if the prices of oil dropped drastically, all they would do is shut down the pump and wait. So it's there, you understand? You're not losing, you're not getting wiped out ever. Again, it's a different business. The returns are high. It depends on what lease you get involved with. Again, you could have returns for 10 to 30% return. You can get in at a very small price point from, like right now the smallest is like $7,000. You make 15% annualized, or you could get like deals that are like $4 million.
And are these domestic wells? Or
they're all in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're gonna buy something more than 500,000 or more, you can feel free to fly over there and meet all the operators. And I'm sure Anton will take the trip with you. Yeah, and she knows him for a very long time. So.
Is this in perpetuity, or?
Well, every well has a lifetime. The average lifetime could be between 15 and 30, 40 years. Right. The goal is to make your figure out what your rate of return is and when you're gonna get all your capital back, and then you know that you're making profits. So you could make, depending on the deal, you make your capital back 3 or 6 years. Depends.
Right.
It does vary because every lease is different.
And does the rate of return of your profit, is that impacted by the price of oil?
Yes.
in the market?
Yeah. You're gonna take the ride from the.
Ah, okay.
But for example, right now I have this nice app on my phone, which is called Oil Price Live. So you can download it. You see every day the price of crude and the price of natural gas. So today gas is $2.8, right? For us to lose money on the gas has to go to 30 cents, which is not happening, right? If gas goes to 30 cents, you've got other things to worry about. And right now a barrel is $49. For us to lose money, a barrel has to be $20. So again, we'll just shut the valve off and wait for it to go back up. If oil and gas were dramatically dropped for 6 months, again, I believe it's Armageddon and there's zombies walking the streets. So that's not something that should be happening anytime soon. Again, that's a deal by deal basis. Some deals are a lot more attractive than others. Again, you just want to buy right, have someone handhold you through that process. The most important thing with dealing with me is, Ricky, I have X amount of capital. What I kind of covered what I do. I own. I don't broker notes. I own those notes that I sell. So that's another upside. And the movies, obviously, I'm the producer, so.
So when I walked in, it sounded like you guys were talking about mindset and goals. So what would you attribute your being able to perform at such a high level across all of these different industries?
Like I guess I touched base on it one day. It just clicked. It really just clicked. I stopped underselling myself. You can do it. I just realized that I'm amazingly talented, and it sounds self-serving, right? And they're like, oh, you can't say that. You're a conceited bastard. But no, you have to say that, because nobody in this world is praising you. And believe me, human beings need praise. Your husband, your wife, whoever in your life, they need to be praised. But no one can praise you as much as yourself. When you like the old saying, if you don't love yourself, you can never love anyone else properly. That's why you have problems in relationships. Love yourself, believe in yourself, know that you can do it, and do it. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna be embarrassed, it's gonna happen, right? But as a child, when you were a baby trying to walk, you fell 100 times, you never got embarrassed, but now you're walking. Just take the same attitude. I love looking at my little niece as she's developing as a little girl. She's 4, and kids don't worry about weather. They just go out and have fun and they play. They don't care if it's raining. They don't care if it's cold. They're gonna go out and play. Only you as a dumb adult are worried, oh, it's cold, it's raining. Look, it rained today. Look, not a lot of people probably didn't show up because it rained, right? So you start putting those limitations. One of my things is I had to try, boxing helped. I used to be an amateur boxer. So that when I was a kid, right? So that helps, that understanding that no man is better than you. If you apply yourself, if you put in the work, you can compete. I don't know if I had many little breakthroughs in my life that helped me realize what I can do. Like when I came to this country, I was in the 4th grade, and I didn't speak English. But then I started taking English, and they had the citywide test in English. I forget what it's called. I'm from Ecuador.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100% Ecuadorian. So the teacher go, hey, guess who got the best grade in the whole class? And all the normal smart kids raised their hands, and I was like, I say I did it, and nobody expected I did it, but I had the best grade. So in that moment I said, wow, I can actually be smart if I applied myself, right? So those are things. When I box, I realized, oh, wait a minute, I shouldn't take shit from anybody. You understand? Because he's just a man. And then there's, so you have that attitude that you bring towards. So then, and in business, many years I slept on the floor. Like, and I unloaded trucks. I did everything. Like, I did all the manual labor you could think about. I threw garbage out from buildings. I swept and mopped buildings, and so what? And I did it so I could get enough money to start buying my own cell phone store, to start investing with my friends in fix and flips and things like that. So nobody gave me shit. So now I can confidently speak about everything I'm doing. Because I'm not afraid to go back to that. So I already had a low point. And I know a lot of guys who have a lot worse than me. At least I had a loving mom. Some guys don't have anything. So why would you stop yourself? How can you not understand and learn? Why wouldn't you do that for yourself? You only have one life. No matter what you do, you have numbered hours left. You have 100 days to live. You could choose to be happy or miserable or excited and try to fulfill as many dreams as you can. You can do that. You just have to wake up. And this is not a motivational speech. What am I doing here?
I understand where you're coming from. I've been through some of what you gone through, because I think for me at a young age, I had in my mind what I can do and what I wanted to do. And like from the age of 17, I remember, I said I would never pay rent, never paid rent. I went into 2 branches of the military, did that because I went from Army Reserve to active Marines. Then I knew I always wanted to be a pilot when I got my pilot's license. And then it wasn't until I started coming back to New York and hanging out with the group that I kind of fell out of, I think really what really hit me hard, it was a relationship that hit my ego and things took a turn. But, hearing you talk, it sounds like we're going to be really good partners. You're diversified, and I like that.
Which business is making the most money? Notes, oil, or the film?
Film, highest rate of return at the moment. But I really like them all, and I think everybody has a different appetite. Some people really gravitate towards real estate.
Right.
Some people think oil and gas is sexy because you own oil and gas.
Right.
And some people really love the entertainment industry. My job is to make sure that they all get secured. Yeah.
How did you make those first connections when you were diving into any one of these sectors? Right.
Through friends. I mean, through, like you say, hard work and willing to do anything. Luck it's played a big, major role.
I guess then the question becomes, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so in the mortgage notes, it's through a friend who was working for a fund who did that already.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right?
How'd you make that friend?
Oh, in the neighborhood. You know what? I'm from Queens,
Sure.
right? All right. So apparently, there's a lot of interesting people in Queens. So he was in Queens, and that's through the neighborhood it happened. Same thing with, except for Anton, who's not from Queens, but we met through a place like this many years ago. He came to one of my seminars because I was doing mortgage note seminars at that point. Now I tell you, I did seminars in Los Angeles. I started that 8 years ago. I got some of the industry leaders involved in the business. I just look younger than them, but I got them in the business. And I started talking at a jewelry store, of my friend's jewelry store, and only one person would show up. And I would talk to them about mortgage second position notes. And then little by little, more people got involved, and then I did conferences. But yeah, I was through a personal relationship. Again, the other business through a personal relationship. And the other business, the entertainment business, I did it on my own. I kind of went on my own, but now the partnership is through a friend again. So I am very fortunate that I meet good people. But you have to put yourself out there, right, as well. Like today I may meet someone that I'll be working for the next 5 years with. Who knows? I don't know. So they're all been through friendships. So, or else I wouldn't have the avenue to take advantage of it. And also a lot of people, what I realized, because there's other industries that people are approaching me to work with them. They see who I am and what I can bring to the table and say, hey, Ricky, I have this startup or this thing. What do you think we can do with it? And that also, like I said, prepare yourself to be lucky. It's not, oh, this guy was successful, he's just a lucky guy. No. Prepare yourself to be lucky. If I was not prepared to be lucky when the mortgages came around, I wouldn't have done anything with it. If I was not prepared when I met Anton to make the businesses work, I wouldn't have done anything. And same thing with the film industry. It's a lot of work. You always got to work on yourself. So it's not luck, but it is luck. But you should be prepared to be lucky. That's like, if I have a saying, I always say that. Because I believe in everybody's life, there is moments that come through your life where you can be lucky and take advantage. What happens is that you're not working on yourself throughout those dead times, slow times, building times. And when the guy that or girl that you're supposed to meet that can help you in a business proposition, you're not ready. You haven't been networking, all right? Because networking is important, like Joe said, right? Every person you meet is somebody important. I don't know who's behind that somebody. I mean, I met 2 billionaires in my life because of people that are connected to those people, right? So always network, always read. Reading is crazy important. Always read, even if you have to be in the bathroom, read 3 pages, but do it. Well, I extremely recommend you reading on sales. And don't say, oh, I hate sales, I'm not a salesman. Of course you're not a salesman, but you have to sell everything in life. You got to sell your girlfriend to do something for you, everything. Your child to go to sleep, everything. Everything is a sale in this business, in this life. I recommend you reading those books, obviously all the business books. Always read, always prepare yourself, because you don't even know, even if you're in software, it doesn't matter, you got to grow your business. If you're in real estate, it doesn't matter, you have to grow your real estate business. Who is the gentleman? He's not here. Actually, I had a meeting earlier on where he has multifamily properties that he's trying to sell in Detroit, right? Which is fine. But you can't leave it to the real estate agent to do that for you. You can't. You have to actually sell it and promote it yourself. You don't leave industry professionals to do your work, right? So prepare yourself to be lucky, and that's the way you do it. But I got very, very fortunate that I met people throughout my life that actually helped me. I didn't do this alone.
Wow, guys. So there's a lot of silence. So you captivated everybody's heart.
I put everybody to sleep.
No, not at all, not at all. It was very interesting. So anyone here has any other questions or anything they want to, feel free to share as well?
I wanted to announce a workshop that he's going to be having.
Sure, yeah, thanks, Joe. I've taken a few courses on real estate finance through the Schack School of Real Estate up at NYU. I teach at Columbia, though that's software. I've got about 15 years of experience teaching, and I'm starting to work out a workshop for building out a pro forma. So that's one way of analyzing whether or not an investment property will be worth your time, worth your money, right? I need people to kind of sit in place and go through that class with me as I build out the handouts that I'm going to give you, the homework that I'm going to give you, and the examples that we'll go through. If you're interested in that, please do fill out email and name. There will be a charge, but it will be donated. I'm taking the money so that people expect to pay for this, but I'm not taking it personally. I'm taking it to hand off to a mission, which will be determined by the people that arrive. So you get a say in where the money goes. Thanks, Joe.
Excellent.
One last thing, I'm sorry. If I could, this was a sign-in sheet.
We have actually an official one now.
It's the unofficial one, man.
We went high end on this. Guys, we have a bunch of events coming up. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. It was definitely a different perspective of holding a workshop or actually a networking event. You're more than welcome to come back to the happy hour, which is Park, right? Yeah. In September. Then we're in Harlem, and then we're back to Bryant Park. Then we'll be back to Brooklyn eventually. We'd like to try to keep that name, Brooklyn RIA, kind of active to what we do. We hold events at the Brooklyn WeWork on Montague Street, which is a nice location. Yeah, it's a convenient location. I like going down there. I remember it 25 years ago, so it's nice to see where it's transformed to. Thing to think out there. I just was reading some notes from today's news on just real estate as general. Rates have dropped yet again. So if you're really looking at something right now, they're below 4% on a standard conventional loan. I mean, obviously it's still a seller's market, okay? But, and I'll give you an example. Philadelphia, 660,000 homes. Guess how many are for sale? What do you think? Anybody have a number?
What?
600. Come on. Come on, give a number, a real number.
2%.
3,300 homes out of 660,000 homes available to live in that are livable in Philadelphia. And that's going on in every capital market. And I'll give you a little sneak site that can update you every day about that information. Write it down, Mortgage News Daily, which is a great RSS feed. It comes out at 5 o'clock every day. It gives you a general update on the market of lending, where you're at with rates, and why the rates are where they're at, why the market is where it is. But then it also gives you additional articles on industry sectors that touch the mortgage industry. Sometimes they talk about notes. Sometimes they talk about other industries' impact. Obviously, energy is a big, impactful sector that impacts the mortgage industry. So Mortgage News Daily is a great learning tool to get an update on the industry Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock. You know what goes on, you plug in a couple of the articles, you read them, and then you tie it into what you're trying to accomplish. Okay? If anybody has any ideas on future speakers, we're looking to get more into the new year now. Any of you are more than welcome to email us, and you can stay in the know of all the Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Delaware events we also hold, and as well as the New York events. We're trying to do more collaboration with other organizations. We are collaborating with RIA NYC on a van tour for looking at rehab homes that are being built in different phases, turnkey, multifamily, and that'll be September, I want to say 29th, it's the last Saturday of the month, 30th?
Yeah.
Last Saturday of the month. It's $59. You get lunch out of the deal. I don't know if Charles was down there, or Yusuf, were you there when we had a torrential downpour and we had 45 people on the tour? Everybody's in raincoats, everybody's going through these houses. It was actually insane what we were doing, but we had a wonderful time in the rain. And it's a great city to bounce off of. Even if you're not going to buy there, it'll give you an idea of the top 10 capital markets and what they look like. Obviously, Philadelphia's more on the smaller side. It's like 6 or 7, depending on who you talk to. But it's a good test for you to see the processes based on then looking at DC or Pittsburgh or Kansas City or St. Louis, any of these mini capital markets that are growing right now and working off the market, which is extremely strong still. Somebody we were just talking about, obviously, where the market might slow down. A lot of people are looking at 2019. Probably that late spring market is going to slow down things, because finally a lot of those people that recovered their equity in homes where they lost in 08 and now have recovered are going to start listing properties in 18, and then it's going to flood the market a little bit into 19. So that's where a lot of the predictions are going, where the market might slow down the rates, and some of these alternative opportunities might pop up even heavier and hotter for some investors where to allocate their money. Right now, private lending, my 12 and 2, my 12 and 3 is actually expensive right now. There's hard money lenders putting money out at 9 or 10%. But I never tell people I'm the cheapest. So, there's money out there for 9 or 10% if you're the right type of customer. It's not for the person that can't buy bubble gum. It's for the person that has reserves, that has credit, that has an exit strategy, that has an option to get out of the loan. There's lenders that don't loan to own. You don't want to run into those people. They don't lend just on knowing that they're going to grab your property from you. So that's predatory. So again, the rates are still working in all of your favor, depending on what you're trying to accomplish in that real estate market, whether it's multifamily, single family, or flip. Cheap is not always good either. Going for a $30,000 property to put $30,000 in to hope it worth $100,000, you're better off going for an $80,000 property to a $120,000 house, putting 50 to 70 in, and looking for the net worth over 200,000. But people think cheap is good, and cheap is not always good. So I want to leave a few minutes for everybody to talk to Ricky and Michelle. Following this, I'd like to thank Paul for being a gracious host. I lost an extra couple pounds hustling from Penn State at Penn Station. The old days. It's 20 years since I've been working in the city, so kind of refreshing that I know I could just break a sweat at any time walking the long streets of New York. So again, make sure you exchange business cards. Try to get to know with people. Grab a one-on-one. And that's the way you build out your business. So again, thank you very much for coming out. We'll see you in September, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Joe, before we wrap up, for our viewers and listeners, where can they reach you?
You could reach me pretty much on any social media site, whether Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel with over 300 videos that are customized, not Facebook Live style, but very customized videos. They can email me at jscorese, JSCORESE, at First Trust, that's FIRSTRUST.com. Phone number 215-290-5108. And if anybody knows me in this room, and some of you do, you email me, I email back very quickly. If you want the links to these events that are in really 4 different states, email me. I have a special meetup link for all those events. We even have a cigar event coming up. Cigars are for closers, so who thinks they're a closer? Okay? And you can't show up at the event because it's you have to be on the list or you can't get in. It's a private Italian club. You ain't getting in. I can guarantee you're not getting it. So if you sign up for the link through the meetup, and you're more than welcome to come. We're gonna have wine, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have cigars. It's from 6 to 9, all investors, all developers. Because all of us are really, we're all collaborating, building stuff. I mean, I was just mentioning to you, so I'm closing on a 7 unit in the next 2 or 3 days. We just finished up the operating agreement. It's three different investors are involved with that deal. I'm buying 4 more lots along the waterfront up in Port Richmond. I'm partnering with 2 other people. It's all about partnerships right now because there's just not enough money out there to grab all the deals that are going to be out there for the next 18 to 24 months to kind of hold on to, wait till the next cycle, things of that nature. So I'm very reachable online. I think I chatted with you. I reached out to you, right?
Yeah.
That's how it all began.
That's how it all got started.
Yeah.
Social media is one factor. Also, like Ricky was saying, it's also the connection. Sometimes you know someone, and then through that connection, you establish a.
I travel with my wife because we don't have kids, we got cats. So as long as we get somebody to cover the cats, we're good, right? So we go away for like little 4-day weekend thing, holidays or whatever. And it's amazing how many RIA events fall in on a Thursday night when I check into wherever I'm going. I've been able to connect with the people, meet them in person for 12 different RIAs across the country by just going away on a Thursday, finding out that there are events on that Thursday night, and meeting them and just building that relationship. We'll never maybe do any business, but it's always nice to get the face with the name and you're connected with them on. I mean, even though you got Skype and all that other stuff, there's nothing like the in-person meet. And it's funny when you walk into places, hey, aren't you that guy that has all those events? How do you do it, right? I hear that all the time. I tell them, Ricky brought up something really interesting. I tell them, don't worry about me. You worry about yourself and I'll be just fine. You know, and that's the art of being a networker and in the real estate business. It's a wonderful place to be. So again, like I said, it's been really a great run, especially right now. So hope to see you down in Philadelphia when you do come down.
Yeah.
My offices are yours if you need them available for a podcast from there.
Okay, definitely. I'm definitely going to be keeping in touch and following you around in other future events and do collaboration.
And by the way, Dave Van Horn said hello, Ricky.
Oh, did he?
I got to check up on you, make sure you're you're not, you got to check up on my contact. I just checked real quick. I said, you know this guy? And he says, yep, good guy.
Oh, cool. Hey, check
the world gets very small. The world gets very small. I expect when we all know the names. We start name dropping, you know what I mean? So, but again, thank you.
You're quite welcome. And Paul, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at paul.logston@gmail.com. Of course, you can just come over here and get my card. And we're here in Soho.
Okay, awesome. And Charles, where can they find you?
They can get me by email at cseaman316@gmail.com or by phone 347-306-3278. And like everybody else, also on social media.
Okay, and lastly, Yusuf, where they can find you?
Also by email, yswnyc@gmail.com and telephone 646-852-5135.
So there you have it, guys. If you want to reach the Work Your Money podcast, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's Work Your Money or Work Your Money podcast. You can also find us at workyourmoney.net. That's our website if you ever want to touch base there. We also have a YouTube channel that's Work Your Money podcast. And also, I have a little scoop that I'm going to unveil today. The Work Your Money podcast is also a Work Your Money podcast TV show. That is going to go into effect in the next 3 weeks. So at the end of the month, we're definitely going to be more live on the TV sector of everything. And also I have another TV show coming up, I would say October, the beginning of October. It's called Coast to Coast Market, and it's talking about the real estate market in different areas, different states, just on the East and West Coast. So until the next time, guys, bye.